and Sons of Sam. Rogues and Sons of Sam. As has been aforementioned, as it could have been foretold, one cold, wet, gray, windy day, the bard was horse-collared, horse-whipped, and made a horse's ass of by the horse-dicked man. And although a jury of his peers could not be found, he was still sent to spend some designated time with some rogues and Sons of Sam, much like the cocksuckers and motherfuckers one might find in the Devil's Rock and Roll Band. And so, for a designated time, the bard rocked with the users, dealers, and spaced-out aliens, but he didn't roll over for the likes of robbers or rapists, or for the killers of mice and men. Yeah, there were some fun-loving rogues, and there were some Sons of Sam. For some, the bard had compassion, and for others, he didn't give a damn. During this time, the bard wrote Statutory Sadness, Sodom and Gomorrah, and other songs and poems. He also wrote a philosophical poem about prison life. He called it Who Raped Jeffrey Kalitch? Rape is almost a human impossibility, Plato said. Socrates once implied with a frown. And then Plato said, the old hemlock drinker went on to say that a woman can most certainly run faster with her skirt up than a man can with his pants down. That is, for women, is what Plato said. Socrates told them that day. But as for men, Plato said old Sock didn't have much to say, except that the brute just picks the fruit and then goes on his way. Yeah, there are laws and there are causes. Causes 1, 2, and 3. There are sons of bitches, the horse-dicked man, and what some might call blasphemy. The news, it flew around the block that some son of a bitch had taken out his cock. Then the stupid son of a bitch, he went and stuck it up the ass of Jeffrey Kalitch. Yeah, some stupid son of a bitch had gone and raped Jeffrey Kalitch. He went and found a blue-eyed boy and then made him a torn-ass toy. We all listened. And then we went to take a piss, as assholes do, who've seen so much of shit like this. And there we argued and agreed as we farted and we peed. We agreed that the difference between a man and boy is probably nothing less or more than the ability to predict what demons may be hiding behind better left unopened doors. We agreed that snakes will be snakes, in a pen or out on the loose, and even when they're in the mouth or in the guts of a mongoose. We agreed that the laws of life necessitate the bearing of a gun and a knife, and when the guns and knives are taken away, then some asshole's asshole is going to have one hell of a muddy, bloody day. We agreed to totally absolve the son of a bitch for everything the motherfucker had done, for we believe that cocks have a mind and will of their own until they fuck something and they come. We all agreed, but some said we should castigate the son of a bitch until he admits his dick is sick with sin. Some said we should just castrate the son of a bitch and mail his balls back home to his next of kin. Some said we should execute the son of a bitch and hang him up by his nuts for all the world to see. Some said we should just rebuke the son of a bitch and make him sweat for a while and let him know he's on death row and there's not a chance in hell of a reprieve. We agreed to go and corner the son of a bitch and tell him our assholes won't bleed like the one of Jeffrey Kalich. So we went and cornered the son of a bitch and told him what we said we'd say, and he told us, "You assholes must want your jaws jacked and your motherfucking shit blown away." To which we said, "Fuck you, you son of a bitch." To which he said, "Fuck you, you cock-sucking assholes." And this is the way it usually ends, with sons of bitches and assholes, and the ones who look the other way to protect them. But then, is this really where it all ends, or is it just the beginning of where it all begins? For, as was said before, there are laws and there are causes, 1, 2, and 3. Cause 1 is simple. It's just some stupid son of a bitch who stuck his simple-minded dick up the ass of Jeffrey Kalich. Cause 2 is the horse-dicked man who holds all of the cards in his hand and plays them just as he sees fit, as sure as hell, as sure as shit. He plays the deuce against the jack, and cocks get stuck up tight-ass cracks. He keeps his ace so deep in the hole where he can get all that he wants and act like he's not in control. Thus, so much for the son of a bitch. Just let him go and set him free. And so much for the horse-dicked man, for he will be as he will be. But what about cause number 3? Who in the hell is he or she? Yeah, there are laws, and there are causes. Causes 1, 2, and 3. There are sons of bitches, the horse-dicked man, and what some might call blasphemy. And thus, for a designated time, the bard was a member of the Devil's rock and roll band, and he rocked with the fun-loving rogues, but he didn't roll over for the sons of Sam. And on one fine, mighty fine morning, the bard, having served his time, was told by the horse-dicked man that they were setting his now big, fat, tame ass free. And the bard asked the horse-dicked man, how free is free? And the man replied, as free as the law allows one to be. To this the bard laughed and said, that's free enough for me. And upon his release the bard went, and he did sleep for 2 whole days. And with the 3rd sun he awoke rejuvenated, resolute, and ready to resume his old ways. For the animal can be put in chains, and games can be played with its brain, but the beast within always remains. And when back out on the open range, it likes to run for as long as it can, wild and untamed.